Deliberations touching on sibling rivalry between Senate and National Assembly, as well as allocation of Oversight Fund to the Senate, dominated the first day of Senate Induction Retreat in Naivasha. The legislators tasked the House leadership, led by the Speaker, to ensure that their mandate in the 13th Parliament is clearly defined and protected through political goodwill. The legislators vowed to reject further humiliation by the National Assembly. Let's now cross over to Seth Olade, who's been following the proceedings in Naivasha. Good afternoon, Seth. What's the latest?
Well, the latest is they're now going for the final session before now they can call it a day, at least for day one of the Senate Induction Retreat here in Naivasha. And there were earlier on very, very serious concerns led by especially the returning senators calling upon the new Speaker of the Senate, that is Amason Kingi, to protect their mandate and interests. And they are calling upon the leadership of the House of the 13th Parliament just to make sure that their role in terms of oversight is facilitated and as well as the mandate is protected. But let me just now drop in the Busia Senator Okiya Omtatah. Mheshimiwa Omtatah, they were concerned, and especially from the Marsabit Senator, in regards to, what intimidation, frustration that the Senate has received from previous engagement with members of the National Assembly, but according to your own, assessment and moving forward, what's the solution to this?
I think we have problems not mainly in the law, but in the culture of the House, whereby the National Assembly attempted to muscle its way out, or to muscle the Senate out of issues. But I think that the solution the Senate has, from my perspective, is that if we just focus on devolution and devolve the functions that the Constitution has devolved and taken to the counties, and also have funds follow those devolved functions, we should be able to contain this sibling rivalry. But naturally, from the structure of things, the Senate is the upper house. Because if you look at Article 96(1), although people are focusing on 96 Clause 2, which talks about oversight, I look at 96 Clause 1, which talks about representation of counties as key. Oversight is just a component of representation. So I personally think that if the senators focus on the issue of representation and work as a house to devolve functions and then follow them and oversight them and represent the people, I don't see these quibbles having any feet to stand on. I also feel that the two senates that we have had failed in terms of creating adequate legislation to devolve functions, because most of the devolved functions are still with the national with the national government, and who oversights them is the National Assembly. So they oversight the ministries who are keeping this money. But if we take this money to the ground, then the National Assembly becomes inconsequential. In fact, most of their work will be done by MCAs. So I think the problem also lies in the Senate, in that we should not complain, we should organize. Stop agonizing and organize. And I think that's why you have not heard me speak there, because I think we need to organize and simply devolve the functions to the counties, implement devolution, and the Senate will automatically become the upper house. It will not, its functions will not be questioned, and the fund we are trying to set up should not just be an oversight fund, should be a representation fund, so that what we are doing is to do representation. And who are we representing is the counties. So thank you very much.
Well, Lillian, apart from devolution, we'll be having many other areas being touched on, including the relationship, the working relationship, touching on the legislative arm of governance with the other, the judiciary, the executive as well. So it's just day one. They are also expecting high-level speakers to address this particular 5-day forum, including the Chief Justice Martha Koome, the Cabinet Secretary for National National Treasury, Kuria Yatani, and many other experts and professionals, both from the public and private sector, just to enrich this particular forum that was actually opened officially by the Speaker of the Senate, Amason Kingi Lilian.